In recent days, the deployment of Russia's cutting-edge S-500 Pantsir missile defense system to Syria has ignited a storm of speculation and concern. Officially, it's presented as an upgrade to Syria's air defenses, a deterrent against potential aerial threats. But beneath the surface, this move is a bold, strategic statement, and it's one the US and Israel cannot ignore. The S-500 is not an ordinary missile system. With a range exceeding 600 kilometers and the capability to intercept both traditional aircraft and hypersonic projectiles, it represents the next generation of anti-access, area denial weaponry. Unlike the older S-300 or S-400 systems already in Syria, the S-500 extends Russia's defensive umbrella deep into neighboring airspace, potentially threatening operations over large swaths of the eastern Mediterranean, Iraq, Jordan, and even parts of Israel. For the United States, whose forces operate in eastern Syria and across the region, this raises serious questions. American aircraft have enjoyed relative freedom of movement in these skies for years, but now, that freedom is under an advanced and watchful eye. The Pentagon knows that even if the S-500 is never fired in anger, its very presence can alter the strategic calculus, forcing changes in flight paths, increasing risks, and adding layers of complexity to every mission. For Israel, the stakes are even higher. Tel Aviv has carried out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria over the past decade, targeting Iranian forces, Hezbollah weapons convoys, and other threats, while Russian-made systems in Syria have so far not blocked Israeli jets outright, thanks in part to deconfliction agreements between Moscow and Tel Aviv. The arrival of the S-500 introduces uncertainty. Will Russia maintain that same hands-off policy? Or could this be a subtle warning that the skies may not remain as open as before? Beyond the military implications, this deployment is a geopolitical message. Russia is showing that it can project not just political influence, but cutting-edge military power far beyond its borders. It's a signal to NATO that Moscow's reach is global and that the Middle East remains firmly within its sphere of strategic interest. It's also a counter to US pressure elsewhere, from Ukraine to the Pacific, reminding Washington that Russia has the means to create new pressure points, but the danger lies in escalation. Syria is already a crowded theater where Russian, American, Israeli, Iranian, Turkish, and Syrian forces operate in overlapping zones. Every side has its own priorities, its own red lines. Add an advanced system like the S-500 into that volatile mix, and the risk of miscalculation multiplies. One misinterpreted radar lock, one accidental interception, could spiral into a crisis none of the players truly want. In the end, the deployment of the S-500 is not just about Syria's defense. It's about reshaping the balance of power. It's a move that demands attention, not just from military planners, but from diplomats. Because the stakes are nothing less than the stability of an already fragile region. And as history has shown, when great powers jostle in the Middle East, the ripples are felt far beyond its borders. So as the radar dishes of the S-500 sweep the skies over Syria tonight, the world watches and wonders. What comes next? ChatGPT said, Russia's decision to position the S-500 Pantsir in Syria is not just another incremental step in military deployment, it is a seismic shift in the air defense landscape of the entire Middle East. This is a system that represents years of Russian defense innovation. A platform designed to neutralize threats before they even become visible to most radar arrays. Its range of over 600 kilometers means it can monitor, track, and intercept targets well beyond Syrian borders, casting a protective umbrella that reaches deep into neighboring territories and international airspace. It's a game changer not only for Syria's defensive posture, but also for the strategic balance in the region, because it gives Moscow a near impenetrable shield that can counter the most advanced aerial threats in existence today. The S-500's radar capabilities can detect stealth aircraft, the kind the US has long relied on for uncontested dominance, and can intercept hypersonic missiles traveling at speeds once thought impossible to stop. It can engage multiple targets at various altitudes, even in the lower atmosphere or near space, making it as much a counter-space weapon as a ground-based defense system. In military terms, that means the skies above Syria and far beyond are no longer the same open theater they once were for rival powers. Every aircraft, drone, or missile in the vicinity now operates under the silent shadow of a system designed to see and strike faster than most pilots or operators can react. This isn't merely about defending Syrian territory. It's about extending Russia's control over the aerial domain in one of the most contested regions on Earth. For countries operating near Syrian airspace, whether allies or adversaries, every mission, every maneuver, every flight plan now has to factor in the possibility of the S-500's watchful eye and lethal reach. It changes the psychology of power in the region, because deterrence here is not theoretical, it's physical, deployed, and operational. And the fact that this shield belongs to Russia sends a message that Moscow isn't just participating in the Middle East's geopolitical chessboard. It's placing a queen in the center of the board. And so, as the dust settles over Syria's desert skies, the presence of the S-500s stands like a silent sentinel. Its radars sweeping, its missiles primed, its very existence reshaping the strategic heartbeat of the Middle East. This is more than a deployment. It's a signal flare fired into the night, telling every nation in the region that the rules of the game have shifted. The US must now calculate every move with greater caution. Israel must weigh each mission with a new sense of uncertainty. And Russia, by planting this system here, has drawn an invisible but undeniable line in the sand. The real question is not whether this changes the balance of power. It already has. The question is who will test that balance first, and at what cost. History has taught us that in volatile regions, the smallest spark can ignite the largest fires. In the shadow of the S-500, every decision becomes more dangerous, every action more consequential. So I ask you, do you believe this deployment is a step toward stability, or the opening act of a new chapter in confrontation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the moves shaping our world, and share this with someone who needs to understand what's really at stake. The game has changed, and the world is watching.